work, maybe. But you know, it's all thinking.
And then we've all six of your books have become movies.
Yes.
I think that's a lot for an author's work, but of course we're waiting for the other 10.
Right.
How do you work with the producers? Do you get a say in who the actors are, and how does it feel to have your characters played by Kevin Costner, Richard Gere?
Oh, that's a lot of fun. I've been very fortunate in the movie business, and when you first start, you don't have a lot. You don't have a lot of power as an unknown author, so you don't really have a lot of say.
Like for The Notebook, did you
for The
choose Rachel
Notebook, early
McAdams
on you don't
and
have.
Ryan Gosling?
You generally don't. However, with that said, I was able to work with 3 producers. I've been able to work with 3 producers most of my career, so they were always of the type that they respected my opinions and things. So compared to most authors, I probably had more say. And then it's worked up to now where I'm actually producing the films with these friends of mine, so now I have a whole lot of say. So I will be able to, for instance, choose the actors in Safe Haven. I will be choosing the actors in The Best of Me. I'll be overseeing the script and hiring the director and doing all those things.
That's great. And how did Miley Cyrus end up with the last song? What was that experience like?
Yeah, how did Miley Cyrus, who's a very, very great
How
young
was
lady-
written for her?
Yeah, it was written for her. It was funny. I was, as I told you, the first thing I decide on my next novel is the age of the characters. That is the first decision that I make. And so, you know, a couple of years ago, I decided I wanted to do another teenage novel because I hadn't done one since A Walk to Remember. But now A Walk to Remember was about a teenage boy, so I said, well, I want to write one about a teenage girl. And it was right around this time I made this decision to write a story with a teenage girl that Disney called. Disney called and said, Miley wants to do another movie after Hannah Montana. She loved A Walk to Remember. Do you have anything she might be interested in? And I said, not yet, but give me 6 weeks. Let me see if I can figure out this story. So I thought about it for about 6 weeks. I went out. I went back to Los Angeles. I told the story to Disney, the executives at Disney. I told the story to Miley Cyrus. I said, this is the next novel that I'm writing. Do you want it? You know, I swore them all to secrecy, told them the story. They both said yes. So then Disney hired me to write the screenplay. So I wrote the screenplay, wrote the novel, knew Miley would be involved from the very beginning. And of course I talked to her, got some things that I thought in the story, what's important to her. You know, what is she like in her life? She said, you know what, I really love animals. All teenage girls love animals, by the way. But that's why there's some sea turtles in that story, right? There you go.
Okay, and so do you, can you tell us about your own love story, and will you ever write a book about you and your wife?
Well, my wife and I, that is a college love story, so there may end up being some elements of our story in the next novel. My wife and I met on spring break in Florida when I was in college. I don't know if any of you are aware of what college spring break is in the United States. If you have an idea of what it's like, you might imagine it. It's exactly like that. It's wild, it's drinking, it's bikinis, people in the road. I mean, it's essentially what it is. It's a lot of fun, actually. Met my wife on a Monday. She was down from one college, I was down from a different one. Met her as a stranger. She was down with her friends, I was with my friends. I met her on Monday, told her I would marry her on Tuesday. And we've been married 22 years, so there you go.
That's a great story.
It
That's a
is.
great story.
Yeah, it could be good.
And it's happy.
How can I write it? No one would believe it. Come on, spring break? That's a pickup line.
But the 22 years must have been a great story. And I understand you built a school together.
Yeah, we do a lot of things. I think that my wife and I tend to, I believe in karma. The more you give, the more you receive. We believe that ever since we were first married, and among the things we do is we founded a school in our hometown. It's called the Epiphany School, and it is a school that I think is really important, especially in the United States. It's got a big focus on an international component to the curriculum. And it's one thing, say, if you're here in the Philippines, you're used to kind of being on the highway of a lot of different cultures. If you're in the rural South in the United States, you're not. I mean, that's just the way it is. You don't experience that. So we think that's a real disadvantage. So basically, we're taking these students and we're really introducing them to the world. If you come into my high school as a freshman, by the time you graduate, you will have visited 16 countries on 6 different continents. You'll speak Spanish fluently, and you will be introduced to history, culture, economics in a lot of different countries around the world. So, and that to me is what education is all about.
Well, Nicholas, thank you so much. We've been lucky to have been spending the 3 days with you. Somebody told me yesterday at the event that I'm very lucky, and I am. I've learned so much about your life, not just Nicholas Sparks' books, but Nicholas Sparks, the writer, the family man, the TV producer, Nicholas Sparks, the brand.
Thank you.
And we've enjoyed talking to you and meeting with you. Do you have any last messages for the Philippine fans?
I will say this, and I get this. This is one of the wonderful things about being an author. That with a lot of readers is that when I have events, I have a lot of people turn out. This is great. Sadly, for you guys, what that means is that unfortunately I can't personalize any books. It's just literally I don't have the time. It's nothing. If there were 12 of you here, sure I'd personalize. I'd write you a yearbook entry in your book. I'd have all the time in the world. But it's really important to me to get as many photographs as I can with all of you, to get everyone their books signed. And despite all, you might want it personalized, and there's really nothing I can do about that. But in all of the Philippines, before I leave, there will probably only be a couple of thousand signed books, and you will have one of them. In a country of 100 million people, so it is actually going to be about as rare as something can be here. So I apologize that I can't do that. I do know it's your best friend's birthday, and your mother's birthday, and that your grandma's really sick, and that your best friend is the world's biggest fan, and that you've been reading me since you were a little child, and that the watch remembers your all-time. I know. So anyway, I look forward to seeing you at the table.
Thank you for signing all those books.
Absolutely.
We have us who has been here since 3 a.m. I'd like to call in Miss Nikki Alcatar. She has...
Not you this time. She was first yesterday.
She didn't sleep the other night, so she came in at 3:50. So you can... Nikki, can you join us up here now? And what sign?
Oh my God. Kasabay naman.
We're gonna have a picture with Nicholas. Why were you here at 3 a.m.?
Opportunity, to get to meet you because as much as you try to cliche, I've had you since 2002. I've been reading your books.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You have a camera?
Okay, and now you can have your book signed. Let's get your book signed. You need to have your book signed. Here's the Sharpie. Okay, let's have your book signed.
Ang interview niya ako, Burik eh. Pwede kayo, kakutangan na ako.
And very soon it will be your turn to get signed. When you have your book signing, you will have your numbered stickers. we will call everyone by batch, and as we call you, please line up in the center. And we hope you read all our friends. Oh, sorry, on the side here, James, wait. Okay, you line up in front of James, and we hope you all you